I'm sure you've seen the news lately that food prices are skyrocketing. Food prices are nuts. Stock up now. Empty shelves are coming. The inflation, how are we gonna pay for everything? Chicken is $10 a package. Anyway, I'm sure you have seen the news, the headlines, the YouTube videos, the internet, your emails. Do you guys still subscribe to a newspaper? Maybe you see it in the newspaper. My mom does. The headlines are stating that food prices are out of control. We can't save money on our groceries anymore. So I started thinking about kind of what I do on my channel of like clearance shopping, fun, inexpensive grocery hauls and cooking for you guys, and thought, am I out of touch? Do I not know what's going on? Let me do some research. In my research, I found a couple of YouTube videos talking about this topic that have come out in the last couple of weeks. And I'm not gonna tell you what they are or whose channel they are, but I did write down some of the things that they mentioned in the video, and we're gonna talk about it today. This one video in particular was stating that food prices haven't changed at all and it's all in you guys' head, or maybe you're just buying the wrong things. Basically, you're doing it wrong. Let's just go through the points, talk about it, and then you tell me down in the comments, like, what do you think about this topic? Are food prices just absolutely insanity where you are? Are you struggling to keep your grocery budget down so you can keep your budget in sync? And then at the end of this video, I'll give you some of my favorite tips on saving money at the grocery store so you can keep a little bit more of those dollar bills in Mr. Pocket. The first thing I am going to say is that the food prices vary a lot depending on where you live. I live in the United States, which is a whole lot cheaper than Canada, and I live in the mainland United States. So Hawaii is going to be a lot more money in groceries than my state of Idaho. Now, I live on a relatively low cost of living area. My groceries are gonna be a lot cheaper than someone who lives in New York City or maybe even California. The problem is I don't know because I don't live there. So I can only give you the information based on where I live. I can't say if groceries have gone up in Canada because I haven't been there in a really long time. So I'd like to know from my viewers, where do you live and have you noticed grocery prices going up? The statement that food prices have gone up assumes that people paid attention to food prices previously. And I know personally that not everybody has done that. A lot of my friends just go and buy what they need, put it in the cart, pay for it, and come home because they think they just need it anyway, and that's fine. But if you're not paying really close attention before, and you're kind of paying attention now, it's hard to determine if prices have changed that much. Another thing we can talk about is, are people talking about regular everyday prices or sale prices on items? Because I'll tell you what right now, I don't know the price of regular boneless, skinless chicken breast. I don't know what it is every day. I know what I can get it for on sale. I know what I've been able to get it for on sale like 3 years ago, and I know what I can get it for now. Which number are we talking about? I think that's important to enter into the conversation. This particular video was talking about how the prices of whole foods have not really gone up, and prepackaged foods is where the price has shot up. Let's talk about what prepackaged means. That's gonna be your chips, your tater tots, your soda, your cookies, your crackers, your frozen lasagna, fruit bowls, toaster strudels. Is it just me, or are toaster strudels like the most delicious thing ever? By the way, they're so good. So these items are the ones that have gone up in price. Once again, I typically don't buy these items full price. I only get them when they're on sale. So I am not going to be a good resource for this one. And again, the prices vary no matter where you go. But just for an example's sake, I'm gonna pull up my phone right now and go to my Walmart app, and we're gonna see what a box of cereal costs right now. Cheerios, because I know for a fact, like 2.5 years ago, a large box of Cheerios cereal was $3.64 at my Walmart. Why do I know that? Because I had a bunch of deals, making it free. I know that that was the price. Family size Cheerios, oh my gosh, look at that, $3.64. That's the exact same price as it was like 2 years ago. I could get the bags, some varieties of Malt-O-Meal cereal, not the fun flavors, but like your basic flavors, for $3. So let's just check that out. Mini Spooners. I think it was an 18-ounce bag, so it was a little on the small side. Oh, it's a 50-ounce. That's actually a lot bigger, and it's $3.98. So look at that, $3.98 for a 50-ounce. That's actually better. than it was a few years ago. But the video also said that whole foods have not gone up. We're talking like rice, beans, milk, eggs, fruits, vegetables, things like that. Here's a couple of items I've noticed. Eggs have always gone up and down in price. My Walmart price of the 5 dozen boxed eggs right now is $4.95. That's about what it's been for the last several years. So that one has not really gone up. Milk has also gone up and down like crazy. Right now, I'd say it's fairly average, $2.50 a gallon for the store brand milk. Beans have gone up a little, where it used to be $1 or a little less for a 1 pound bag of dried beans. Now it's like $1.10 or $1.12. So that one has gone up a little bit, but we're talking like a 10 to 12% increase on one product. That's a significant jump, even though we may only be talking about 10 cents. Another tip is that you're shopping at the wrong store. And I actually really agree with that. Unless you live in an area that only has one option, you're probably going to have more than one store to pick from. It's a common misconception that Walmart's like the cheapest store, or Aldi is the cheapest store, or whatever is, I don't know, fill in the blank with whatever store you want. I guarantee if you shop the sales, like look at the sale items in an ad at a store like Smith's or Publix or Hy-Vee, or I don't know all the grocery stores, but you know what I mean. You can get way better deals if you shop the sales, like from the sale ads that run. So yeah, maybe your Smith's has boneless, skinless chicken breast for $3.50 a pound, which to me sounds insane. I can get that for $1. I get that for under $2 all the time, like basically all the time. $1.49 a pound is kind of like a stock up price, and 99 cents a pound, which I did see a few months ago, is like buy it all and stick it in your freezer. So if you're seeing cherries for $8, maybe check a different store and you'll get it for $3 and save yourself $5 a pound. And speaking of cherries, that leads into the next point, which is not only are you shopping at the wrong store, you're shopping at the wrong time. And what that means is shop your produce seasonally. You're not gonna be buying apples in the summer. That's not when apples are good and fresh and cheap. And you're not gonna be buying peaches in the spring, because peaches are a fall like late summer, early fall crop, at least in my area. Like I've been waiting for peaches to go on sale. I have looked at every store and for the last 2 weeks. They are $3 a pound everywhere. Because in my area, peaches go down in July or later to 99 cents a pound, and that is when I will buy them. Speaking of produce, strawberries in my area almost always hit $1 to $1.50 a pound in the spring. This year, that did not happen. I checked every single store. I checked every sales ad. I never saw them cheaper than $1.75 a pound. And that, I think, was only once. Most of the time, it was $2 a pound. So that is almost double what it normally is for strawberries. Did you guys notice that for strawberries this year? They were very expensive this year. Anyway, the point is shop around your stores and shop your produce in season, and you will definitely save some money. This video also stated that generic is always cheaper. So if you find yourself buying the Ruffles, because they have ridges, maybe check out the store brand of the same chip. Save yourself a couple of doll hairs. I agree, some situations, name brand is better than generic. However, I am not scared to try generic. I've tried generic on a lot of things, even some that I shouldn't have. But most peanut butters I've tried, like the generic Kroger brand peanut butter, to me tastes just like Skippy, like exactly like it. Why wouldn't I get the generic? And I did see them on sale for 99 cents a jar recently, like 2 weeks ago. True story. Side note question, how much do avocados cost where you live? There's been a little bit of a debate about the cost of avocados, and I'm gonna say that depends entirely on where you live. Again, because where I live in Idaho, food has to be shipped here from a really, really long way away on trucks. I have never seen avocados cheaper than 75 cents each. Never. The entire 7 years I have lived in Idaho. Let me tell you what, friends, Christine can shop some discounts and clearance, okay? Here's proof, right here. I've done it a lot. And avocados is one of those things that I know I'm gonna pay $1 each, always. If I'm lucky, they'll get down to 80 cents. That's like a rock solid price in my area. So that's the other point. As gas prices go up, if your food has to be shipped to you, they're going to put those extra costs to ship the food onto the customer, which is you. So if you're in an area that has to have trucks bring the food, you will definitely notice an increase in food prices across the board on everything. Those those are most of the points that I saw in the videos that I watched. Now, let me ask you, do you agree or disagree with these points? Tell me why. Like, do you think this person was a little harsh in their assessments? Do you agree with some of it? Like, I'm kind of I agree with some of it. I don't agree with some of it. But the real key, the real truth is right now, we're gonna talk about what you can do to save money no matter where you live. The number one tip I have for you today is if you know how to cook from scratch, you can save money on your grocery bill, I promise you. If you haven't started cooking from scratch, like if you don't know what to do, I have over 200 cook with me videos on my channel teaching you how to do things like make bread from scratch, make a soup, do things in your slow cooker. And I think they're really easy to follow first steps. A very basic cookbook will go a long way in helping you out. I'm a big fan of the Betty Crocker. Super, super basic stuff. Plus, hello, Pinterest has everything you could ever want on it. Now, step 2, let's be a wise food shopper. Here are grocery shopping ideas for you to save money now on your grocery bill. Number 1, in the meat section, buy cheaper cuts of meat. That means we're not buying filet mignon. What we are buying is a big old honkin' roast. It is a cheaper cut. It takes a different kind of cooking, more patience, probably a slow cooker or two, and you can still get really delicious meals out of a more inexpensive cut of meat if you know how to cook it right. If only there were something we could use to help us learn how to cook cheap cuts of meat called Google. Where we can look stuff up. I kid, but sometimes I tell my kids that. They're like, I don't know how to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if only there was this thing, this place you could go to look things up that you don't know how to do. I'm just kidding. Number 2 on the food shopping is buy in season. So it's summertime right now, which means it's time for the summer produce, the squashes. Strawberries are kind of past for my area, like strawberries and asparagus are kind of done, but we're moving into tomatoes and corn and squashes, and hopefully soon is gonna be the peaches and nectarines. Shop the sales. I have shown you how to do that a million times on my channel with all of my clearance shop with me videos. Pull up the sales flyer on your computer, just give it a quick glance, and you can see that, like for me, for example, Smith's has grapes on sale this week for 99 cents a pound. So guess what snack my kids are having this week? It's gonna be grapes. And then next week, it'll be something else, I'm sure. Last little grocery shopping tip for you is going to be change the way you eat a little bit. So maybe we're not doing the fancy expensive cheeses anymore. Maybe we're taking a break from the pre-spiralized zucchini and we're gonna do it ourselves at home. Maybe we're just gonna have spaghetti a little bit more often instead of shrimp. But there are some easy food swaps like that to save a ton of doll hairs. To sum up, do you think prices have gone up in your area? Do you think it's because of inflation? Do you think it's because food has to be shipped a long way? Do you think it's because there are shortages of certain things? Tell me what you think. I think it's so vastly different depending on where you live that it's really hard to compare and make a blanket statement like some of the ones that I have been seeing. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.